Hello ladies and gents, welcome back to another video. My name is GGJ and today I am accompanied by none other than Vox Tyrant. How you doing, Vox?
I am doing very well, thank you. How are you?
Very tired. I doing night shifts at work, laying new flooring and stuff, and I'm just like, must
Yeah.
sleep. So
Another feel.
So sadly, there was no Easter tournament. So both NA and EU got cancelled. Now NA have had two cancelled in consecutive weeks. So that means they've gone, you know, that's a bit bad for them, unfortunately. So not only are we going to cover our picks for DreamHack, we're going to talk about the topics that you can see. No, that way. There we go. Right there on the screen. Good. There we go. And the first topic is, what other competitive modes could there be for Paladins? Now let's just go over the actual modes we have today and what they are. We've got Capture and Siege, which is the main competitive scene at present. We have Payload, new maps being designed quite often. And of course you have Survival. Now, the way I see things, Survival only has one or two maps, is that correct?
I think it's accessible on every map that has capture points, so it's on all three of the Capture and Siege maps.
Right, okay. I've never seen it on Glacier. Not once. I've never ever seen it.
I haven't played Survival in quite a long time, actually. You could be right there. I just haven't tested it out. I've been queuing mostly Payload, actually, is my game of choice currently.
Right. So, we'll go over each mode and what it brings to the table and, you know, how viable it is going to be for a competitive scene. So, first up, we're going to go straight into it, Capture and Siege. Now, as it stands, this is the main competitive esports scene as it is for Paladins right now. Now, Capture and Siege, for those that don't know, it's a 5v5 on a map where you have to capture points to get yourself a siege engine. Then you have to escort that siege engine without dying and taking too much damage towards two gates and a vault. You have to take down first gate, second gate, and of course the vault to win the game. So, each game roughly lasts 12 to 15 minutes as an average basis. Obviously, there's been games that go as long as an hour. Literally, it depends on the quality of the teams that are playing. And of course, if it's matchmaking, you can go from 6 minutes to anything up to 20 minutes. So, Capture and Siege, your thoughts on it and how viable is it and what does it bring to the esports scene, folks?
Right, well, Capture and Siege to me is kind of like... It's kind of like the best of both worlds between point capture modes and almost a payload mode, because whilst you are escorting a siege engine, or rather, let's not call it payload because it's not.
I was going to say, I was just thinking, payload.
it's an escort mission almost as well, because you have to keep this this lane pusher cannon alive. You have to keep this siege engine alive that you're pushing up to the vaults to let it do its thing, and then it's a reset and repeat. And that's kind of where I think that Capture and Siege shines over just an individual escort mission, like you might see in Call of Duty's GD games, or maybe a capture point game. I mean, there are capture point games in Team Fortress 2, in Dirty Bomb, in Overwatch, and they're all one-sided. It's all one attacking team, one defending team. The thing that I really like about Capture and Siege in Paladins is the fact that it can go back and forth. You might be attacking one point. If you have a better team fight and you manage to capture the other point, then, you know, it can swap on a limb. As far as how viable it is for competitive play, it's interesting. You have a bit more downtime now, which is good, and I think that really aids itself to viewership with the lack of the beacons, so teammates can't immediately respawn, be back in the fight. It's not a constant 5v5 team fight anymore, and with that downtime, it just slows the pace a little bit. It is difficult to watch at times. I think so. I think so.
With Capture and Siege, another thing is when spectator mode comes out.
Yes.
I haven't seen it or any peaks of it, but the action is still fast paced. Where you've like, as a caster's point of view, as an analytical point of view, you've still got to look at things, how things are being done, explain to the audience what's going on and stuff like that. Now, on Capture and Siege, the maps just seem bigger as well.
Yeah,
when I say that, other than Payload, of course. But, I mean, Capture and Siege for the competitive mode, which it is right now for the main esport, is is that, you know, and it's very for someone who only literally now just plays Capture and Siege, which I don't now, but I did. It's very easy for me to explain Capture and Siege to someone who's very new to the game and stuff like that, and what the objectives are and how to do it and whatnot, positioning and all that sort of stuff. So, if you don't mind, I'll go first on why I feel Capture and Siege is very viable.
Go right ahead.
Right, so Capture and Siege is very viable for the simple fact that it's what everybody's been playing right now. It's the main game mode, right? You come into game, brand new player, you know what it is already. You look at it, you play it, it's done. It's one of the first modes you get put into. Everybody seems to know
it's what the practice mode is. It's what all of your bot matches are. So, yeah.
And it seems to be where the majority of the player base are right now. Well,
I would agree with you there.
Yeah, it is. However, without going off to the next topic slightly, but I do want to say Payload does have its advantages over Capture and Siege. And a lot of people are going, what the hell are you talking about, Jay? I will explain that when we get into the Payload section, but it does. But right now, Capture and Siege, beforehand, there was a beacon where, you know, you could hide it up, place it, and then get back into the action as soon as you respawned. In the last patch, patch 20, it was taken out, and we're coming up to patch 21, I do believe now. Patch notes are out. Close beta
Yes.
21, yeah?
Yes, indeed.
Yeah.
Patch 21 we're on.
So we're on patch 21. I think removal of the beacon was and is the best move so far. So with DreamHack qualifiers coming up, I'm going to say hopefully they don't bring it back. But you never know with Hi-Rez. They might bring it back. They might throw something completely wacky in the works, like, say, a massive tower that wards the area and you can see all the enemy movement, like a Cassie Scout.
Going with what we saw about burn cards with the patch notes reveal, I'm going to go with wacky on that one. I agree with you on that point.
It's very hard to digest or even comprehend what Hi-Rez are going to come up with next. So I don't want to draw any conclusions. I don't want to, like... what's the word? I don't want to...
predict, maybe?
Yeah, predict, guess, anything. Because I've been pretty much on the money so far. I can pat myself on the back and say, yeah, okay, I've got pretty much everything right so far, what they've done. But after seeing the beacon taken out and now seeing what you just said about the cards and stuff, I'm just sort of thinking, I'm not going to do that anymore. Because like that's going to make me look like a complete fool. Like, I've got it right. Let's stop while I'm ahead. But anyway, back on topic. Capture and Siege is definitely the main, obviously because new players coming in, you can test it out on the practice match, and of course it's at present it's the one that's dominating the scene. It's the only one in the Paladins World tournaments, all the community run tournaments as well. It's the main one that's used.
Right. I think it has a certain advantage as well because it's different. It's a combination of other game modes which you might have played before in other games, but as far as I'm aware, I don't know of any other games, or at least I'm not familiar with any other games that have a capture and siege mode like Paladins does. And that in itself is, this is different. This is a unique selling point of Paladins, and rather than being potentially accused of you're copying this game or that game with other game modes which are more common, it's in quite a good place in that respect.
I like how you went with that. I was thinking, is he going to go down that road? And you did. Now, with Paladins being new, we've been out 5 months? November? Yeah, 5 months.
Just about, yeah.
Right. There was a common conception that Paladins was having a identity crisis. That still happens to be the case, but I'm going to go with the way we've got it now seems right. The new card system they brought in my opinion, has been one of the best updates today, and I can't say otherwise. I feel it is definitely one of the best updates.
Without going severely off topic, because I could talk about card systems for a long time, I like it. I really do like it. I think that it's not quite finished and it's not quite there yet, but it's definitely a step in the right direction, and it's fun. It's fun. It requires a high degree of thought to weigh up risk versus reward and how much of this card's effect do I want, yada, yada, yada. It's good. I really do like it, and I hope that this is something which is now
implemented fully. Yeah.
Implemented, not changed again, and is really kind of honed to perfection. That's what I want to see going.
Okay, I know we said we weren't going to go off topic, but we are going off topic, so I'm going to continue the off-topic discussion about the cards, and I just want to say this. Before, we had a common deck and we had our main deck, right? And we used coincided both together. Now, common deck cards can be used in your main roster deck, main deck as such, and to me, this is absolutely essential. I think this was one of the best changes that you could ever. There's so much diversity in the card selection now, like you said prior to this. Everything you do has to have use. If you take one card that isn't going to be of use, you're at disadvantage. Because there's going to be an enemy that's going to have a card that is going to put you down, and you're going to be, sit down, son, go home, you're drunk, get lost. You're back at the base for a hot minute. You know, it literally makes a hell of a difference. Prime example of this is Wrecker. Or the ones that take out the turrets and whatnot. I forgot the name.
Right.
It was Wrecker, wasn't it? Yeah. And Shields.
Wrecker Shields and Bulldozer is turrets.
Bulldozer, that's one. And, I absolutely think this has been brilliant. I do. And I'm on 100% agree with you here. I really hope they don't change it. They address issues that have arisen with it, but don't, completely change the card system again. Right now, you've got it right. Here's an old proverb, if you want to call it that. If it ain't broke, don't fix it. Right? You've been warned, Hi-Rez. Leave it be. It works. This is good. A great step in the right direction.
Yeah, and there are teething problems which you expect. Like, everybody's a bit short on gold, to say the least. But, it's a new system.
Actually, no, I wasn't. I was sitting on...
Well, you're not?
I was sitting on 200,000 anyway, and then I got given an additional 340,000, so I got everything.
Well, today I learned that you play a lot more Paladins than I do, because I'm level 54 in game,
would you like to know how sad I am?
Oh God, go on.
I've got 4 level 30 accounts. I'm level 74 on my main. No, let me go even one. I think one of the boys on Fate eSports is level 80 something.
What?
Yeah, but okay, these guys are competitive players. They spam the game like 8 hours a day. So
yeah, but they don't get XP for playing custom matches. So when they scrim, it doesn't count.
Yeah,
that's just playing. Good grief, that is full on commitment.
I should hope so. And all, I want it. But,
I'm glad on your behalf that you were able to unlock every card, but unfortunately I still have a few which I'm missing.
I've still got, and the thing is, I've still got another 40-odd Radiant chests to open, and hopefully in those Radiant chests, I might even get myself one of them skins.
You wanna send me a Radiant chest?
Yeah. What is
1% drop chance. 1%.
I need a tissue.
It was 1. Okay.
They've
it was
got to
1%.
increase that, surely.
I don't know if it's still 1% because I got gifted like 20 Radiant chests when the patch went live. I opened them and I got 2 skins out of them. So who knows?
Oh,
that's
the thing
pretty lucky.
You see, I'm quite lucky in the regards that like I still have funding that I can use to get everything in the game. So when I talk about something, I actually know what the fuck I'm talking about. But hey, so it makes a change. So when it comes to that, I really want the Cassie skins. She looks absolutely beautiful with them. I think I've seen one person with the yellow skin and it looks amazing. However, I know we're going off topic. I know we said we wouldn't, but we are, and we're miles off topic right now. But don't worry, we'll rewind and fish it, reel it in. But I want to see them put skins into the game like they've been doing, but using the same methods Smite has.
I think that's going to happen.
Yeah, it needs to have similarities with both, because then you can say, right, we learned off of Smite, we don't want to do that. Here, let's do it here and see if it works and so forth, and go it that way. Do not do it this way, where literally, I think I tested I brought £80 worth of crystals, and opened all the chests and got nothing. And that was just prior to patch 19.
Yeah.
And I sat there, slightly angry.
Yeah. It's...
And I'm thinking,
I
but in fairness, with that £80, I got every single weapon skin in the game.
Yep.
And because like every time I didn't, and I got duplicate cards, I was getting like 10,000 gold or something, or whatever it was. Oh no, it was something like 6,000, but it soon accumulated up, and I got quite a massive gold, and then I just went and bought everything. And this patch, however, turns out that there's now weapon skins that you can't actually buy with gold anymore.
Really?
No.
Oh.
You actually have to get them. Drop.
Oh, you have to roll them. Okay.
And I'm thinking, okay. And that sort of alarm bells went off, and I was like, no, come on. Don't do it.
I think the big reason that people have been a bit miffed about the skins in the chest is because those are the only skins currently. Once skins start coming out, like maybe there's a themed skin where every champion gets like for the sake of saying it, a mech skin, like every champion or every god is getting in Smite currently, then, and if you could buy like a chest for that or something, then all of a sudden complaints go away, because by the time that people end up getting to level 30, level 50, level whatever you want to call it, then they'll probably unlock them when scaling's adjusted. I mean, it's a beta. It's gonna be
absolutely.
Gonna be changed,
you still got to fund the game one way or another, and I totally agree. I mean, I was angry at the time, but now I look at it's only 80 quid, whatever. Like, that was 4 or 5 weeks ago. It doesn't matter. It's done. There's nothing I can do about it, right? I still get every weapon skin in the game. I whatever. So, technically, I'm not angry about it. I was at the time, but then when you sit back and you look at the great scheme of things, look, I felt, a developer out somewhere or another, it's some money towards it.
It's also, when you look at it from more of a business point of view, rather than just, like, as a consumer.
At the time, though, let me just point out, at the time, that's 80 quid out of my pocket. And I'm thinking, hang on a minute, I could be sitting in a pub, and I thought, wait a minute, I can't actually think like that. No. Because I am a good boy. My New Year's resolution is not a drop. Mwah. Done. 5 months coming up, baby.
Oh, congratulations.
Yeah, not a drop. I'm quite happy about that. And I have lost 1.5 stone as well. I'm doing good. But anyway, we should reel it back in, because I know this is my fault. I'm okay with that.
You want to talk about Payload?
Let's talk about Payload. Go for it. Go.
All right. Okay. In all honesty, I've been playing more Payload than Capture and Siege currently, just because I've been enjoying the new map. So, it's been out for a couple of maps. Serpent Temple so much now, and okay. As far as how viable Payload is for a competitive game mode, I think it's pretty up there. I think that Capture and Siege will always kind of remain the
main one,
the staple, just because it is unique to Paladins. But I don't see any reason why Payload can't be like. Hey, who knows? Maybe Payload's a tiebreaker, or maybe.
Would you like me to?
I'll
chime in here, and I'll say, how is Payload going to be a competitive mode? I agree. First off, let me just say, Serpent Temple, best map in the entire game. If you haven't had the chance to play on it, Q Payload, you will enjoy it. It's beautiful. Turn your settings up to maximum. I don't care if you get 5 FPS. Just go look at the freaking map.
Oh, it's absolutely fantastic.
It's outstanding. Like, I was amazed when the new Joust map in Smite came out, and I was like, oh, this is... And I mean, I loved it. I do, and I to this now. I've been playing it last night. I was streaming. It was great. I had a great fun, and it was amazing. I really do. But I went into Serpent Temple for the first time yesterday. Finally got into it, and oh my god. Wow.
It's phenomenal. It's absolutely phenomenal.
The detail in that map... It's like, so say you've got a really good graphics card, you've got a good computer, right? Turn everything to maximum. I mean, absolutely ultra settings. You'll see leaves coming off, blowing in front of your face, and the ragdoll effects and all this. You see the turret particles coming out, and oh my god. And just for the record, to the Barrack player that was kicking my ass yesterday, who was running double time with Mega Turret, thank you ever so much, because you scared the living crap out of me, and I will be forever
enjoy your nerves.
Yeah.
Enjoy your nerfs, because Mega Turret now no longer grants extra health to turrets, so you can actually kill them, which is great.
It hurt from as a I've been in the competitive scene. I've played a few competitive games, and I just want to say, ouch.
Yeah, it's scary.
I'm so glad that's been gone. We've learned from it. Let's not repeat that ever again, because that was a very, very painful, bloody experience.
Yep.
I did not enjoy that one bit. I was like, why is this thing? Why is there so many mega turrets around? And I'm like, wait, what? And then there was there was a bug, Fox, that you didn't know about.
Oh, go on.
You could have 3 mega turrets out at one point. This guy managed... Right, so I think it was all something to do with the timing on the cooldown. So as it went up for the second one, as the cooldown coming down for the first one, you could have 3 turrets out, and the first one was still up for an extra 5 seconds or so. So Serpent Temple coming up, and you're pushing the cart, right? You go round the bend, and you're just about to go up and through into the main temple part, right? The first part, yeah? First stage?
Yep.
There. Try dealing with 3 mega turrets with that extra additional health and explosive missiles in your face.
I don't want to.
Yeah, that was not fun.
I'm okay with not dealing with that. I'm absolutely okay with not dealing with that.
That was so... I mean, I was just in awe of this guy. And it turns out he was like, I don't know, 13, 14 years old. And he was a really nice kid to talk to. And he was chatting away. He goes, oh, you're GGJ. I killed you. I was like... Yeah, you kicked my ass. Thanks for that.
Yeah, it's lovely if you do get recognized, but and then you're like, and somebody's just trying to make conversation. You go, oh, you're talking about how I sucked. Oh, this is horrible.
As a pit player, and doing it, and I didn't have bulldozer, and I was like, this is gonna really hurt.
You got to have bulldozer.
And we were all squishies. There was me, Cassie, Canessa, and Evie, and Barrack.
Oh, one thing that was introduced in Serpent Temple in the latest patch, which you might not know if you only just played it, is in CB20, there was coloration introduced. So when you are rolling out as a defenders, I noticed it, the final area has got like purple trim all around the walls. And then
wow. No, I didn't know that.
So it's like purple, and then I think is it blue, green, or red? All the stages, like between each checkpoint, there's a different kind of trim on the walls, and there's a different color theme, and that was something which is only just added.
If you look on the checkpoints
really
as well,
neat.
you know the little square bit where the checkpoint actually is there as well. I do believe.
Yep.
Yeah, I saw that. I did see that. Like it was green, or maybe that's just the checkpoint itself. I don't know. Like I say, I don't play Payload all that much, but
I'll have to take a look.
It was looking good. So anyway, back to the topic at hand. No, because how are you going to do it? There's no way to switch routes.
Right, that was what I was about to say. Is currently we're kind of stumped in that. There's no way to implement competitive Payload because who wins? You don't go back and forth. It's not Payload race. You don't swap sides, and there's no stopwatch functionality. So how do you tell who the winner is even if you set up a custom game, right? And both teams play as the attackers or defenders, and depending on how that could be implemented and a custom game could be created, you could potentially do that. How do you decide the winner without like an inbuilt stopwatch mechanic?
Yeah, exactly. There's no timing. I mean, how many it could go on? For instance, how many times on this certain side you had overtime or something, or once you start getting into that realm of possibilities, it's very difficult to think. Right, okay, it's too complicated.
Mm-hmm.
It's a shame, but. Off topic, again, I know, but this is what I want to see implemented in Payload. Different routes you can turn. Say you can make a connection, like you can go to, you can fight over a point, like a checkpoint. Once it hits that checkpoint, you can decide which path the Payload goes down. I'd love to see something like that involved, or similar to that extent.
Okay.
I think that would be fun. And sorry, people, I'm scratching my nose. I've got a horrible cold, and it won't go away. Hence why I look all flustered. But
much sympathy. I've been stuck with what seems like a persistent cold for the last 5 weeks or so, and it's horrible. I can't wait for it to be summer.
Yeah, it's like today. I left work. I left to get to work at 2:30 this morning, and I'm walking to work, and I'm like, it's not rain, but it's drizzle, and I walked a mile, and I thought, why the piss in hell am I walking? And I got halfway through that and I thought to myself, what the bloody hell am I doing? Why in God's green earth did I just walk this distance when I could have drove? And I'm just like, you know what, whatever, done. I got a taxi home in the end. I said no.
It's April showers. It's April showers, man. It's part of what you expect in the UK, you know? It's
no, we expect drizzle,
dreary
rain, dampness, miserable weather here in the UK.
That's it. That's the epitome of British weather, is just misery.
But
and then 3 days of summer.
Yeah, 3 days of summer, right? Yeah. Payload as a whole, the game itself to me is extraordinarily fun. It's like you can get really stressed out when you're playing competitive esports capture and siege. You really can. It can really grind you down to the point where you just like, sort of, I don't want to play it anymore.
I believe it.
Right. But that happens in every esport. It does. It gets to you. You end up raging and blah 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 whatever. But it's only because most of the time you've been doing it for 8 hours a day or whatever it is, 6 hours, 8 hours a day, and you're just tired. But I find I can play Payload, win or lose, couldn't care less, and just enjoy it. I really have, and that's what made me decide I'm going to do a series on this. In fact, I'm going to do a long series on this. And like back in my Smite days, I used to do epic fail arenas, and that was great, good fun, where we just go into arena and have fun, talk about the game, and win or lose, it didn't matter. And that's what I'm going to do with this new Payload series. And oh my God, is it fun. And I'll probably get you to come in and do a couple of episodes with me, because
I would love to.
If I could just select Serpent Temple every single time, I wouldn't play Capture and Siege ever again. That's the God's honest truth.
Yeah.
I'd sit there and play it. I love the map. I mean, when Glacier Keep come out, I was in awe. I love ice maps, I do. And I said this, who was a little Madness, one of the developers at Hi-Rez. I said to her, I love like ice maps and snowy maps and all that sort of stuff where they can do all these nice effects and stuff. And at the time, I just like literally as I said it, the release was made out on Twitter that the Glacier Keep was coming. Yeah, and I was like, wait, what? Yeah, and of course to this day it's still been one of my favourite maps of all time.
Yeah.
What's your least favourite map, by the way?
It was Enchanted. Okay, it's Outpost on Payload because there's a lot of verticality, which is hard to access. So unless you and you can do some really nasty, either not quite spawn camping, or though you can spawn camp pretty heavily, but you just have like impossible chokes to break through it in certain places, and there are ways of dealing with that. And I could make a couple of suggestions there, but it's just clunky. Also, the pathing as defenders to get from the defender spawn to the attacker spawn is ridiculous. Like there needs to be either a forward spawn or a one-way door to get through, and just bypass half the map to get there. It's a little bit silly at this point. If you wipe the defending team, then you're guaranteed first checkpoint.
Yeah.
There's no way about it. You can't get back in time and establish a defense again. So Outpost is my least favorite. It was Enchanted Forest until they added the new trees. Actually,
yeah, I was going to say, did you see that? And the actual points in Capture and Siege, the new. Wow, they look amazing.
They look.
I love
utterly
what
beautiful.
they're doing with the graphical side of things with Paladins. I really do. I think it's amazing, and I think just keep at it, keep going, don't stop. Literally.
Yep, absolutely. Right direction with that.
Yeah.
Capture points, great addition. Absolutely fantastic addition. I mean, I've actually stopped mid-game plenty of times, looked down at my feet and ignored the fight that's going on around me.
Yeah, exactly right. I've done it so many times, and then I'll be playing with Skill or Arcos and I go, Jay, you can do something? I'm like, oh, right, yeah, sorry. But anyway, we'll move on to our next one, which is Survival. Now, this I would like to go first with because I do see it as... it feels more of a CSGO type way of looking at things to me. Like, you're down, you got one life per round, and off you go, and, you know, and to me, that's... Okay.
Yeah, it's
maybe
less
get rid of the fog.
team fight.
Maybe get rid of... The only thing I could say on that is maybe get rid of the fog and do it as a CSGO type of thing, where you die and you're out for that round.
So, like... But the fog really takes the place of like an objective, so you have an attacking and a defending team. So if you didn't have the fog, would you implement anything like that?
Capture only.
Oh, right, okay. Capture only, but one life capture only?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, that's an interesting way of looking at it. I've kind of not liked the point in the part about survival where you can, and this is kind of why I don't think it makes a good spectator sport currently, is you can just run around as a team and just pick people off one by one, and then it's over before, you know, there's any focus around the capture point. Like arena style with one life only, capture only, that could be really, really interesting.
Oh yeah, because that could actually bring out some sort of don't heed my words on this, but could bring out, I can't believe this is going to come out of my mouth, some sort of meta for survival. That left a very bad taste in my mouth saying that, just for the record.
Yeah, no, but it could be entirely separate. It'd definitely be sustain based, or it's weighing up.
Yeah,
like,
you're right.
Should it be sustain, or should it be just go all offensive, all defensive? Yeah, and each champion almost has to be independent in that regard, because if their teammate gets picked off, well, they're not going to respawn. Your team comp falls apart if you base it entirely on like each champion meshing with another one. You've got to be semi-independent.
Yeah, you'd actually have to be able to play that character proficiently enough to say, right, I'm going to be dependent to play this character to see where I can go. So
okay, I could see that being very
see. This
interesting.
is I was thinking about it the other day when I was thinking, oh right, what do I do for this week's Real Talk? Because obviously there's not been any tournaments, and it was rather annoying that there wasn't any tournaments. And like I was like, hang on, I've got nothing to talk about this week. And I thought,
all right,
wait, yes I do. And because I was going to do this in a separate video. I don't know. I knew I was going to contact you about doing this video anyway, and I was like, right, let's do it on the Real Talk and see where we go from there. But
I got a thought for you regarding survival.
Okay.
I kind of like the idea of, instead of it being like objective based where you have an attacker or a defender, it is just, I really like that capture aspect. I think that would be neat. It's almost, well, it is a King of the Hill aspect. In that respect,
that's what I was gonna say.
It's Arena King of the Hill, right?
Yeah.
But what if you had Payload as a competitive mode and Survival as a tiebreaker? So if both teams finish the Payload map,
Survival as the competitive mode, right? Yeah, go on.
Yep. Okay, so no, take it back a sec. You have Payload as a competitive mode, but it's like it switches. So say one team gets all the way to the
one
end.
round, and you'll be defender. Yeah. You'll be the attacker the second round.
Right, and then if both teams finish the map, you've got like, okay, then we finish off with one round of Survival as a tiebreaker, and it's a completely different.
That's really good.
Completely different mode.
I've got one. After you finish this, I've got one for you.
Go on.
Okay, right. So, are you finished? You sure?
I am finished.
Right. So back in the StarCraft 2 days, we used to do something like capturing seas, but it was all versus all, right? And you get points per kill and stuff like that, and then it did have first, second, third, all the way down to 10th. And team deathmatch in an arena type capture mode or payload mode. I'll explain how the payload would work in a second. I've actually thought about this. This is very good.
I can't imagine arena payload being very, very fun. But if you're like the last attacker left and there's everybody else is dead,
no, because you would
3 minutes and you're sitting there pushing a cart.
And at the end of the match, right, you get a drop down that comes down saying first, second, third, your points and damage done. I think that would be outstanding for the like community and stuff like that, or casual or whatever. Not competitive, but it's just a mode that I'd love to see. People would thrive in that environment. They really would. And just imagine Paladins goes onto Steam, which eventually is probably going to do. People will come and play that sort of mode day in, day out, and wow.
Right, you got that familiarity from other games, and whilst you do want to be unique and have like, this is what this game brings compared to everything else in the market and what sets it aside from everything else in the market, that initial familiarity, which will really help new players stay. They come in, it's like something they're familiar with, and boom, it's like, okay, you got my attention. Rather than, I have to learn a whole new game mode, how does this work, what am I doing? And it's that higher entry requirement, that's not going to retain people as well. So I completely agree with you there. That could be really interesting.
Okay, let's just... Right, because we've been going on for quite a bit, let's recap to what we've discovered.
Right.
Payload at present, no go for competitive.
Right.
Survival, maybe.
Potentially.
However, right now, the main one will be Capture and Siege, and for probably the foreseeable future. Correct? Oh, we both agreed on that.
Yeah, I don't see that changing anytime soon, unless there are drastic changes made to the other two game modes.
Absolutely.
That make them a little bit more viable, like, as we've discussed, swapping sides on Payload, etc.
Right, ladies and gents, that pretty much wraps up this week's Real Talk. I hope you've enjoyed it. I thoroughly have, and these are some of the ideas that myself and Vox rattle around with on quite a daily basis. Please leave a comment as to your thoughts on what sort of competitive mode you'd like to see in Paladins, or how you'd like to see Paladins shape. We'll reply to your comments, and we do want to hear some feedback. You've heard ours and what sort of modes we want to see implemented into the game. So please let us know what sort of modes also you would like to be like to see implemented into said game. That'd be awesome. Right, guys, it's goodbye from me. It's goodbye from Vox. You can check out Vox on... Where can they find you?
They can find me on Twitter at Vox_Tempus and on Twitch at Vox_Tempus.
Okay, guys, and of course, you know where to find me at jkorvic at Twitter, twitch.tv/GGJ, and of course, if you want to play with me in-game, God knows why you would want to do that, because you're probably going to lose. GGJ in-game as well. Right, guys, it's goodbye from me, goodbye from Vox. We'll see you again soon. As for me, I'll see you next week. Thanks for watching.